shot, as you can see. However, it drops right outside the view of the camera. There seems to be many boars in the drive, and the dogs must have driven them out of their cover. Franz reloads his sour before the boar has stopped entirely, hit by a shot in the neck. His speed, precision, discipline, and knowledge of the game are unusual, especially considering his age.
We could hear the dogs in the background with the pizzas. And we could hear that the wild boar was facing the dogs and it didn't want to go. And it was going on for maybe 30 seconds. And then we could hear that the boar started moving by the way the dogs were barking. And an Überläufer came out just in front of us, maybe 100 meters, 80 meters, over the clearing. And we had to wait a little bit at the beginning because there was trees. And also, it wasn't dangerous, but it was just to let it out a little bit more. And I think we did an okay shot on it. It was like following through with a pheasant or a hare, and it's very nice when you don't have any trees because you can do that. When you have trees, you have to sometimes think a little bit more about it. But that was good.
The hunters have been placed at new posts, and the second drive of the day has just begun when Franz spots two Frischlinger approaching. Franz reloads with the speed of lightning. No action for Eric so far. But even more for Franz, who gets ready again. An instant kill of a big Kyler that tried to sneak out of the drive. It is a pleasure to watch how Franz instinctively predicts where he should shoot at the boars and where to place the bullet. There are not so many beaters today because the terrain is more open, which means that the boars are easier to move. Magnus sees two small and very fast Frischlinger approaching a narrow track and manages to shoot one of them with a perfect shoulder shot. It takes many years of experience and practice to make a shot like this, and Magnus has plenty of both.
That was a good one.
The drive is approaching its climax, and Franz detects yet another big boar approaching through the dense forest.
It's another Kyler boar.
After instantly reloading, Franz keeps his focus on the animal for a few seconds. The young hunter's routine is completely according to the book in every situation. Baying terriers, a single Überläufer at full speed towards Franz. Yet another boar drops after a perfect shot in the neck. Franz has proved that persistently good shooting is possible even on driven boars. He has an extraordinary number of good hits. Notice how Franz always tries to take the right animals based upon his knowledge of the species. Magnus, too, knows how to handle a rifle, which he proves here. A single bore passes a small glade, and a perfect shot. It has been a long morning, and Eric hasn't seen many boars, but a skilled hunter does not lose his concentration, and suddenly a group is coming towards him. He explains to the cameraman that he'll take the last boar. Outstanding shooting.
Again.
Very elegantly, Magnus plucks a frischling out of this group. The diligent hunter is characterized by not only his shooting skills, but even more importantly, for his ability to refrain from shooting.
There was a big group coming with a lot of small pigs, so I took the first small pig and then I tried to find the second one, but I couldn't find it, so that's why I didn't shoot anymore. Because there were a lot of grown females in that group also, so I didn't want to shoot them when they were small.
That's a very nice Kyler. He's quite thin on the bottom teeth, but you can see by the length of how he's been rubbing his teeth against each other. It's usually a sign for age. Sometimes when they have dental problems you get the same effect, but usually you can say if this is, let's say, 4 or 5 centimeters long, it's an older Kyler. So I would think that this Kyler is probably, if I look in the back, probably at least 5 years old. So it's the perfect time to take them. After that, they sometimes rub their teeth down, so they're not very long anymore. But this one is a perfect one to take. And we've been waiting for something like this, especially the right age of the Kylers. We've passed a lot of young ones. Not a lot, but a few. But because when they're 3 or 4 years old, it's nice to shoot them, but it's not as nice as if they're 5, 6. You know, then when they get old, and that's the time to take them.
After all the boars have been collected, the hunters meet for lunch and an exchange of tales from the morning's hunt. Everybody is in a good mood. There have been many boars in the drive, and what more can you ask for when you love driven hunts? The hunters eat their lunch here at the heart of Gulai. The district encompasses about 30,000 hectares and has gained world fame due to its population of world-class fallow buck who have yielded a number of world-class trophies during the last decades. Besides the fallow deer, the district has a good population of red deer, roe deer, and of course, wild boar. The area is divided into 4 main parts, and the total annual cull of wild boars is around 1,000 animals. A new area normally means new excitement. Eric's rifle is also using the newly developed Aimpoint Hunter. It has an even broader field of view than Aimpoint Micro and Aimpoint 9000.
Nytt pass, nya friska patroner.
Kommer nu.
We saw a wild boar lying away, maybe 30, 40 meters lying away from us. And the beaters were just coming around. And we were sure it was coming our way. When it stood up, it was coming perfectly, but I couldn't shoot because the beaters were in the background. And instead of coming out where we are, it turned around and went through the beater line and going backwards. And they like to do that often. They wait for the beaters to be almost on top of them, and then they go backwards. But Very clever.
Have a look through Magnus's aim point while this Kyler is approaching. Magnus successfully defended his post. All the hunters are wearing ear protection. Although hunting is their passion, there is no need to go deaf from it. France watches a group of boar pass through the forest, but the cameraman has not seen that two animals are much closer than the rest. The boars stop, listen, and watch for a while. Obviously, they know something is wrong here. The two boars have detected the hunters and run back into the drive. Magnus takes yet another boar as the drive is coming to an end. The drive is almost over. Some of the hunters are now relaxing, but not France.
Kyler. I think that's a Kyler. I think we're maybe 5 minutes before the end. And before I ever started wild boar shooting, there was a man in Germany who's been doing it for 50 years, and he always told me, wait, always be concentrated until the end of the drive, because you never know. Right at the end of the drive, you might see a Kyler. And I think that's exactly what happened right now. And the beaters have gone long. They've been long gone. And we've had no action for maybe half an hour, and then suddenly we could hear something. And we were quite lucky that he crossed the road in front of us, because he could have also gone straight and we wouldn't have had a chance. And he's big body. I didn't see how big the teeth were, but he's a big bodied kind of.
The drive is over, and the hunters unload their rifles and return to their cars after making sure that all the boars that were shot have been accounted for. It has been yet another marvelous day in the beautiful Hungarian forests, and there are a host of memories for the years to come.
I'm still shaking. I love it when things like this happen at the end of the drive, you know. Good sleep tonight. It's probably one of the best Kylers I've ever shot. I haven't shot that many, but I think probably the best one. And you can see, I only know the words in German, I don't really know how you say it in English, but the bottom teeth we call Waffen, and the top ones are Hadere. And the length and the width of these Haderes are absolutely gigantic. You really don't see that very often. When the teeth come out, probably one of my best ones, if not the best. Really, really nice. It's been a very good day. And the best thing about today is we have another day tomorrow.
A new and exciting hunting day has begun, and the weather conditions are perfect.
And we've decided to move a little bit down. There's a high seat at the bottom, but we decided to go halfway up so we can see a little bit further up and see what happens there. The drive is coming from behind us at the beginning, and the beaters will go through and come back from the other side. I'm not 100% sure whether they will come over the opening. I'm thinking more that they will come down towards where it's a little bit thicker. But maybe if we're lucky, we can get them here on the open. The 10 minutes. And yeah, we better get ready.
Standing in this winter-clad Hungarian landscape with a view of miles and miles of forest will make any hunter happy. Magnus has been given a post on a broad track on this rather steep slope. One of the largest drives of the day has begun, and many boars are presumed to be in it. Erik Jepsen takes aim at a huge kyler weighing over 150 kilograms. Excellent shot, Erik. Slightly late from the cameraman's point of view, Magnus puts down this big boar with a shot in the spine. Erik has mortally wounded the boar, but it tries to escape. He puts it down for good at the first given chance.
It's a bache, I'm not going to shoot it. That was a 120, 130 kilo bache, and you could see she was pregnant. I think we should leave her.
Magnus kills the second boar at full speed and quickly reloads as more can be on their way.
Paul, bottom.
Here, France, at a distance of 80 meters, makes an instant kill of a boar at full speed. He has hardly reloaded before another boar chooses the same route, unseen by the terrier running in the opposite direction. Is it really possible for the German hunter to continue his extremely high level of precision shooting?
Just while we were speaking about it, another one came down. Almost the same Wechsel, one path which they like to take. But it's very exciting, especially when you take up your gun, they can see you, and they really get some speed. And only the dot it's easy to focus on, so you can really focus on the target and just put the dot in front of it like you would do with a shotgun. And you have to follow through like you would do with a hare or a partridge or anything like that. It's almost like shotgun shooting.
Using a rifle with an aim point is almost like shooting with a shotgun. After having missed twice, Magnus drops the cartridge he is trying to reload in order to make a spectacular shot at yet another boar trying to cross the glade. A large boar is approaching France, but from the